for a short-haul flight to Detroit with continuing service to Seattle. He passed several people along the way, including a fuel man, 2 baggage loaders, and a mechanic inspecting the wheels of the Michigan-bound plane. No one confronted him because he looked and acted as though he had every right to be there. He made his way around the aircraft as he finished his coffee. He next walked over to an Airbus A320 that would be on its way to Florida in about an hour. A baggage train was parked next to it. In one practiced motion, Finn pulled the small package from his jacket and slipped it into a side pocket of one of the bags stacked on the train. Then he knelt next to the plane's rear wheels and pretended to check out its tire tread. Again, people around him took no notice because Harry Finn exuded an air of a man perfectly at home in his surroundings. A minute later, he was chatting up one of the ground crew, analyzing the prospects of the Washington Redskins and the deplorable state of employment for those toiling in the aviation industry. "Everyone except the head honchos," Finn said. "Those bastards are printing money." "You got that right," the other man said. And the two did a little knuckle smack to seal their solemn agreement on the disgusting greed of the rich and the ruthless who rule the not-so-friendly skies. Finn noted that the rear cargo hatch of the Detroit flight was now open. He waited until the handlers left with their train of luggage carts to fetch the bags and then climbed up on the lift parked there. He slipped into the cargo hold and inserted himself into his hiding place. He'd already picked it by studying interior cargo schematics of the 737 series, which were readily available if one knew where to look, and Finn clearly did. He'd also learned from open-source research on the internet that this plane was only going to be half full, so his added weight in the rear would not be an issue. While he lay curled in his hiding place, the plane was loaded with fat bags and stressed passengers, and then it was wheels up to Detroit. Finn rode comfortably in the pressurized cargo hold, although it was a bit cooler here than in the main cabin, and he was glad of the thick jacket he wore. About an hour after takeoff, the plane landed and taxied to the gate. The cargo door was opened a few minutes later, and the baggage offloaded. Finn patiently waited for a bit after the last bag was removed before he came out of concealment and peered through the open aft door. There were people around, but none looking his way. He climbed off the plane and dropped to the tarmac. A minute later, he noticed a pair of security officers heading in his direction, sipping coffee and gabbing. He reached in his pocket, pulled out a lunch bag, took out a ham sandwich and began eating it as he walked away from the plane. When the 2 guards passed him, he nodded. "You regular coffee drinkers, or is that half-calf caramel latte with a twist and 4 shots of who the hell knows what?" He grinned with his mouth full of ham sandwich. The 2 cops chuckled at his remark as he walked off. He entered the terminal, went to a restroom, took off his jacket, ear mufflers, an ID badge, made a quick phone call, and marched to the airport security office. "I put a bomb in a bag that was loaded onto an A320 at National Airport this morning," he explained to the officer on duty. "And I just rode in the cargo hold of a 737 from D.C. I could have downed the plane any time I wanted." The stunned officer was not wearing his weapon, so he leaped over the desk to tackle him. Finn neatly sidestepped this attack, and the fellow sprawled on the floor, screaming for help. Other officers poured out of the back room and advanced on Finn, guns drawn. Yet Finn had pulled out his credentialing letter before the pistols had even appeared. At that instant, the door to the office flew open and 3 men strode in, their federal badges held high like the scepters of kings. "Homeland Security," one of the men barked at the guards. He pointed at Harry Finn. "This man works for us, and somebody's in a shitload of trouble." Chapter 2. "Great job, Harry, as usual," the head of the Homeland Security team said later, clapping Finn on the back. People had been screamed at and reports filed, emails fired off, and cell phone batteries sucked dry as the clear lapses in airport security revealed by Harry Finn